Awesome. If you are subscribed to my YouTube channel at all and you get a notification or anything like that that pops up, please just click on it and see what happens. I haven't used this for live for a long time, and I'm curious about how this gets broadcasted out. If it's a better source of well, you know what I should do? It's a better source of getting content out there. I'm actually going to plug this in too, so I can use that. Okay, one more minute, bear with me, and then we're going to start with today's training. Okay, now this should help drown out the fan. Okay, now we're ready to rock and roll. Let's jump in. I am so sorry to keep everybody waiting, and thank you for playing around and hanging out here. Jody, good to see you on here. All right, so today's training, what we want to talk about is 3 ways to get out of your own way. If I have not had the privilege of meeting you before, my name is Jesse Brisendine, and it is an absolute honor and privilege to share this time with you today. And what I want to talk about today is exactly that, getting out of our own way, because it's often us who are the greatest obstacle in our life from getting from where we are to where we want to be. We like to tell ourselves stories that it's other people, it's other things, it's the president, it's the politicians, it's our job, it's this, it's that. But there is one central character in all those. It's them, it's them, it's them, it's them, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this, and that is it's us. It is us that gets in our own way. It is us that obstructs us from getting from where we are to where we want to be. And it is us that talks us out of things that could really be beneficial. And it is us that talks us into things that may not be so beneficial. It is us that ultimately is a decision maker, and it is us that is ultimately the sole action taker for producing what amounts to our life experience. And if we do not like how things are going, or if we want something to be different, it falls, the responsibility is ours to do something about it. The challenge is, how do we do that if we're in our way? Because we will get in our ways in all sorts of ways, won't we? We will self-sabotage, we will tell stories, we will make excuses and all the rest to keep us where we are, even though where we are may not be where we ultimately want to be. With that in mind, I wanted to share with you 3 ways that if you apply these ways right away, you can start getting out of your own way and make tremendous progress in any aspect of your life, whether it's your health, your wealth, your relationships, your career, your relationship with yourself, and all the above. So the first one is you have to change your beliefs. Our beliefs are everything, and our beliefs are really the backbone and fuel of our behaviors. See, when human beings in our infinite wisdom and we do things that sometimes may not make a lot of sense, we often do those things because there's something that we believe about by doing that, we're going to get a payoff. The kid who goes and robs a grocery store. Yeah, actually that is a good example. The kid who goes and robs a grocery store, even though he's got a good family upbringing and everything else, and you wonder, why in the world did he do this? It's because he believes that there's going to be some byproduct of it. Maybe he feels a rush, maybe he feels more alive, he feels more accepted in a certain social circle. The person who stays in an unfulfilling and loveless relationship, they do so because they believe something about it. Maybe they believe it's better than being alone. They believe maybe things will get better. They believe that maybe they've done something to deserve that as their fate. The person who's in a career that doesn't give them what they want, who's earning an income or settling rather for an income that's less than they deserve, stays there because of what they believe about it. They believe that they need it to pay the bills. They believe it because they need medical benefits. They believe that that's the only thing they're qualified for. They believe that's the only skill that they have. It goes on and on. So our beliefs are crucial because our beliefs are really the backbone and the driver of our behavior. If we want to have something different in life, if we want to get out of our own way, because our beliefs are what's often in our way. I would love to have a more fulfilling relationship, but I can't because I have this belief that I am not deserving of it. I would love to make 6-7 figures, but I have this belief about money that I'm just not good with it. I would love to be happy and more fulfilled, but I have this belief that I'm kind of like Eeyore, and oh, why bother? I would love to be healthy and fit and vibrant and happy, but I have this belief that, I'm just a piece of shit and I can't do anything, and well, just don't do it. That's my motto, right? It's our beliefs that keep us stuck. And so if we want to change and get out of our own way, we have to first change our beliefs. Now that's easier said than done, right? And there's lots of techniques and strategies out there for changing and working around beliefs. And I'm not going to jump into those today because, well, quite frankly, we don't have time, and I could do a whole workshop on just that. But if you have questions about some specifically, just message me and we can talk offline. But what I will say is this. Your beliefs are determined and decided by you. Many of us would like to blame our parents and society for teaching us why we believe what we believe and passing them on, and it was them that fucked us over and made it so that we have this messed up life because they shoved on us their bullshit and their crap. And if only we would have had perfect parents and we would have had a perfect life. Well, you know what the reality is? As most of us probably didn't have perfect parents because we all grew up with human beings that were going through their own struggles and were dealing with their own beliefs that were passed on through them. They just may not have had somebody telling them, hey, you don't have to believe this, you can change it. But we've been so adamant about pointing the finger and blaming our parents about why things are the way they are that we're unwilling to take responsibility for ourselves. Once upon a time, they used to say that the earth was flat and people believed it. Then somebody decided to say, you know what, that's not the case, and they went and disproved it. Once upon a time, they used to say that human beings cannot run a sub 4-minute mile. And there was actually medical people would say, oh, that's true. If you go past that, your heart's going to explode. And then one day, Roger Bannister did it in like 3 minutes and 58 seconds. And shortly after he did that, a multitude of other people started doing it to where now the top high school athletes around the world are running faster than what Roger Bannister ran back 50, 60 years ago when he first broke it. There's this expression, I think it was Walt Disney that said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And if you are believing yourself right out of a better quality of life, guess what? I have good news for you. Because you can also believe yourself into a better quality of life, but it starts first with changing your beliefs. Just because you've believed something now does not mean that you have to believe it always, forever, and tomorrow. If you wanted to make a decision right now to cease believing some of the beliefs that have been holding you back, you could do that. In fact, if you want to take some action on it, write in the comments over here, whichever way I'm pointing, what belief you need to change, what belief you want to believe about yourself. Do you want to believe that you're good enough? Do you want to believe that you're deserving of an awesome relationship? Do you want to believe that you are capable of making 6 and 7 figures? What do you want to believe about yourself? The worst thing you can do is just to walk away from this and say, okay, that was cool, now I'm not going to do anything else. If you want to change your beliefs, it starts with taking actions about your beliefs. What is one belief you'd like to change about yourself? What is one belief you'd like to work through? You have to make this new belief that you want to believe part of your life. You can't just say it once and say, okay, I want to believe that I'm going to make a bunch of money, that I deserve to make a bunch of money, and that's it. You have to really inundate yourself with it. Have it be surrounding you all the time. Have it be a part of your DNA, because you've worked your whole life to believe what you believe right now, and you've worked your whole life to believe the things that you believe that hold you back, which means you're going to have to work pretty damn hard to believe the new things you want to believe. But the good news is that if you want to do the work, you can change your beliefs. So that's number 1, getting out of your way. Number 2, you've got to change the content you're consuming. The content, a lot of the content that is out there, especially the stuff that comes from our news sources. I say news sources because what is it? What is the acronym? It's nothing even worth seeing. Negative news. What did I say there? One is negative every waking second. I mean, it's really pretty damn true, right? And if you want to change your beliefs, you have to change the content you're consuming. So much of the content that is out there is designed to keep us in a space of fear. It is designed to keep us glued to and logged into it. You know, we have 24/7 everything, and information is getting churned out all the time, because as long as you're engaged and logged into there, you can't be logged in engaged to something else or a competitor, which means they can make some of this. If you want to change the quality of your life and get out of your own way, you have to change the content you're consuming. Because what you're consuming and what you're thinking about is going to be the source of what you're bringing about. The news and different types of folks love to go out there and espouse about how there's not enough and it's impossible and they can't and there'll never be and there's lack. But every day there are people who don't want to subscribe to that, who choose to believe something else, and they're creating wealth. They're creating abundance for themselves. Why is it that those who tune out and those who tune in have two drastically different realities? Because those who tune in are bringing in the beliefs that they're being taught, just like they did with mom and dad. Might there be a pattern here? I think so. And it doesn't take a little light bulb emoji or a fancy thing to say that. This is just being aware. Right? They say birds of a feather flock together. Oh, it's hope we're not getting flogged. Birds of a feather flock together. If we want to quit smoking, it's probably not a good idea to sit around other smokers, because what are we doing? We're consuming content that smoking is cool. It's a bonding place. It's a place we go to connect. If we want to lose weight, it's probably not a good idea to hang around other overweight people who are going to tell stories, and the content and the narrative is going to be why they can't lose weight or how hard it is. Shift your people you're around. Consume different content. Don't listen to the stuff about why you can't. Buy into the why you cans, right? You are never going to hear me come on here go, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Right? It's just not going to happen, because you can if you put your mind and your heart towards something that you can. But you have to change the content you're consuming. I could be on here 24/7 all day and be saying the same message over and over again. And I know that there's thousands and thousands of other competitors out there are going to be out there saying a different message. Be deliberate about what you allow to go in here, because inside of here is the keys to creating the reality you're going to live. And if you want to, you got to really ask yourself before you turn on the news, before you read a book, before you search the internet, before you watch a movie, you got to ask yourself, what kind of environment do you want this space in here to be? What kind of environment do you want it to be? I mean, really, what kind of environment? One of the best decisions I have made in my life over the last year is I decided, you know what? The news, if I turn on, I get pissed off. I don't want to be on Twitter and see all this stuff. And I loved going on Twitter and interacting with people and helping, but it was like to get through Twitter, there was this sea of negativity almost I had to weave through. So I started unfollowing accounts and all these things and just saying, you know, I'm not watching news, I'm not getting involved in politics or anything like that. Oh my God, it's been so freeing. People try to engage political debates with me and say, you know, I'm just really not, I don't know. Try to tell me about what this person did or that person. You know, I really don't know. I don't know them. I can't judge them. I don't know them. I don't want to judge based off of what this is saying or that's saying. Gives me a lot of free space. And then I shift the conversation and say, you know what I'd love to hear is I'd love to hear about you. How's your life going? What's going on? Let's talk about that. What's exciting for you? Oh, that lights somebody up, doesn't it? So shift the content you're consuming. You want to get out of your way, change the content you're consuming. Be deliberate about it. Number 3, you want to get out of your way? The actions you take. You will hear me say in nearly every single one of these trainings I do, action, 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 action. Because action is so unbelievably crucial. Most of us do not get from where we are to where we want to be because we don't take action for it. We are so committed to the stories and the bullshit that we've fed ourselves over and over again about why we can't. We ascribe to these realities about how it's impossible and how it would work for this person or that person, but it won't work for me. Yeah, you're right. If you want to believe that, it's not. Our history, our human history is filled with countless examples of people who refuse to listen to somebody saying they can't and made it possible. I stumbled across this YouTube channel the other day, and I'm not in any way saying I support this person's choices, but I find it fascinating. What this person was doing on their YouTube channel is their whole channel was about basically sneaking into these places that people said was impossible to sneak into. So they were sneaking into Disneyland, sneaking into the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight, which they were selling like $100,000 tickets for, right? Not buying tickets or anything like that, but sneaking in. And I am not a believer in that behavior, but the point is he had a decision. He chose to take action to prove people that you could do it if you set your mind to it. And I do appreciate that message. And that is that we can do the impossible if we choose to put our mind to doing the impossible. That if we commit to the outcome and not commit to finding an excuse why the outcome won't work, which is what so many of us tragically do. So many of us tragically are more committed to finding an excuse, that first bit of resistance, that first sign about why things won't work, so we can give up. Why? I have been on Facebook, I think, nearly every single day now since 2011 in some way, shape, or form. I continue to do these live trainings, and I get frustrated at times because Facebook keeps changing how the content goes out. And I ask you all to share, and I ask you to like and do the more emojis and stuff, hoping that helps, which I appreciate so many of you do that. And I'll put money behind it to boost it, to go out to more and more people. And it's hard. It's really hard to get stuff out there through Facebook more. They want you to pay more and more and more to get content out. It's frustrating. It's resistance. But I'm committed to getting the message out. I'm committed to trying to help those of you who are open to being helped. I'm committed to reaching those of you who want to dive deeper. I'm committed to extending my arms and saying, for those of you who want to learn from this, here it is. And for those of you who want to go even deeper with me, let's do a strategy session. Let's hop on a call. Let's talk about this. Let's get you in a coaching program. I keep doing it because I believe in what's possible from this. I keep trying to do like these dual screens where I got YouTube going down here and Facebook going up here because I believe in what's possible for you and for I. I'm not going to stop and say, well, shit, Facebook's making it hard. I'm going to just quit. Because then what? I'm not going to reach anybody. I'm committed to the outcome. I'm committed to the goal. I'm committed to the journey. Not committed to finding the excuse about why. And there's plenty of them. So it's the actions that we take. The reason I say this over and over again is because we will never get the proverbial thumb out of our bum if we don't pull the thumb out of our bum or we don't get up. It will stay in there indefinitely. And imagine that, walking through life like that. Yet so many of us, when it comes to our life, will walk around with our thumb up our bum, and we will continue year after year after year after year using the same excuse about why we can't. Oh, I can't because of this. I can't because of that. I can't because of this. What have you done differently to change that? I've heard you tell this story over and over again. I mean, how many of us, be honest, how many of us in our lives have somebody, or maybe we've been that person who has been a perpetual storyteller about why we can't? And then you see them continuing to take actions that support it. Somebody who wants to quit smoking, and then what do? They get a little stressed out. They go and start smoking. Oh, well, I just couldn't quit. I got stressed. No, you could. You could have worked through the stress. You could have moved through the stress, but you weren't. You were more committed to finding a reason to go back and start puffing again, weren't you? Right? People who want to lose weight. Oh, I can't because it was just, I got so much anxiety, I got so much stress, I had to eat. No, you did not have to eat. Nobody was holding a gun to your head saying you must eat this. And even if they were, you would have still had a choice to. It's in that moment of decision you were more committed to feeling a little bit better about yourself or feeling a little bit more comfortable with the food than you were working through the discomfort of not having it. You want to get out of your own way, you have to take actions to move out of your own way. And you got to start taking actions that are different than the actions you've been taking up until this point. Because if you're at a point where it's not producing the results you want, you've got to look at the actions, because it's the actions that you have taken or not taken that have produced the results you're getting. And if you want to enhance those, this isn't to say life has to be all bad. If you're at a great level and you want to go to even greater, you got to change the actions. I was listening to this interview the other day, and the person was saying that one of their goals every year when it's their birthday is they want to be a better version of themselves than they were before. It doesn't matter how much money they've made or how much success they've had or how great the relationship is or anything like that. They want the next year of their life to be even better. And so what they do is they upgrade their social circle, they upgrade their goals, all these types of things, because they are always aspiring to be a better version of themselves. We've gotten so conditioned for so many of us to just settle and be, all right. There is so much more to life than that. And in my heart, I believe that if you're here listening to this, you are somebody who's here listening to this because you want more than, it's all right. You want better. You want great. And the key to getting that is to get out of your own way. Is this helpful? Just want to check in with you all. Is this helpful? So real quick, I have a few minutes for questions, and I would love to answer some questions here. So before I do that, go ahead and start typing your questions. I'm going to quickly sum up. We talked about three ways to get out of your own way. Number one, change your beliefs. Your beliefs drive your behaviors, or the backbone of your behaviors. You got to change your beliefs. Number two, change the content you're consuming. What goes in here is going to be marinating around in here. You put in a bunch of shit, you're marinating shit. Think about that before you consume news, television, books, TV, what you listen to and watch on Facebook or anything else. And number 3, the actions you take or don't take. You want to transform your life and level up from where you are, you've got to take different actions than you've ever taken before. Last but not least, before I open it up to questions, if this has resonated with you and if you would like to look at leveling up your life and you want some help getting it out of your own way and you resonate with me, I'm not for everyone. I'm not going to make any claims about that. I'm going to post a link in here right now that is going to take you to a form if you should choose to click on it. That form is going to be a short application. It'll take you a few minutes to fill out to do a complimentary strategy session with me. Once you fill out the form, you're going to be given access to my calendar. You're going to be able to click on that link and pick a time that works best for you and I to meet. During this time, we're going to talk about what's going on, and I'm going to help you get clear on what you can do to get from where you are to where you want to be. You're going to leave that strategy session with some tangible tools and a clear understanding of what you need to do to go to the next level in life. If I feel and you feel it would be a good fit for us to work together on an ongoing basis in a formal coaching program, we will have that opportunity to discuss that. And if the vibe's right, I would love to help you with that. So please, if this is something for you and this resonates with you in your heart, take an action, a new action you haven't taken before. Click the link, which is here, fill out the short form, pick a time, and we will talk and really dive deep in this. All right, so what questions do you have? I have a few minutes for questions, and I would love to answer some of them. Rusty, very helpful. Rusty, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for being here. Gail, thumbs up, awesome. Matthew, always, thank you for being here. Rebecca, good to see you on here. We'll be able to share this. Will we be able to share this later? I know someone that needs to hear what you're saying. Yes, Stephanie, you definitely will be able to. And thank you. I'm stoked that you're going to share that with somebody. Sonia, I want to believe that I can work a job that I enjoy and make at least $50,000 a year. I love that. Great declaration. To believe that I do have the time instead of telling myself I don't. I love that, Matthew. Thanks for putting that out there. That's awesome. Any questions at all about this? And also, was anybody able to see this on YouTube? I'm curious if it showed up on there or how it showed up on there. Questions? What's your biggest takeaway? If anybody has a big takeaway they want to share. And for those of you who were here at the beginning, thank you so much for being patient while we worked out all the sharing and the trying to get it on YouTube and getting it more organized. I'll give you all one more minute for questions. Huge thanks to those of you who have been pushing the emoji buttons on here and who have commenting. The more I keep reading that, the more engagement from all of you, comments, emojis, the more Facebook recognizes it, and it's a logarithm, and it puts it out to more people. And I did notice this time that it seemed like when there was a group of comments or emojis that would come through, a couple more people would pop in here. So I think that does have something to do with it. Extra big thanks to those of you who have shared this on your pages. That is a huge, huge help. It definitely makes a big difference. 2 other requests from you. Number 1 is make sure you do the strategy session, but 2 additional requests. If you haven't left a review on this Facebook page, please do so. I would really appreciate it. And I'm trying to experiment with using LinkedIn to get some people over here. So if you would be open to hopping over to the my LinkedIn profile, and leaving a testimonial of some sort on there, that would be really wonderful too. I'd greatly appreciate that. Let's see. I saw some of it on YouTube. It was working. Oh, cool. Violet saw it, Sonia didn't. We'll have to figure that out. We'll play around with it. I'm interested to do a challenge similar to the 1,000 Things challenge you did. How can I get that going for myself so I can push myself to broaden my horizons? Great question. You know, for me, what was really paramount to get it going for myself is really giving myself structure with something like that and sharing it, putting it out on Facebook, and making myself accountable to other people. I was ready to quit on it within the first few days because it just seemed like it was so overwhelming and so much to do. And if I hadn't put it out in the social media, if I hadn't emailed other people to get them involved, I would have definitely not followed through with it, and I would have given up before it even got started. So having others in your corner, getting accountability people. And the other big piece with that too is emotional resourcefulness is paramount in doing something like that. I needed to have emotional drivers to drive that engine. And if anybody else wanted to do that or do something similar to that, I would encourage them to do the same. Good question. Any other questions? I'm just going to click over and see if this popped up with questions on the other ones too. Cool. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for joining on the replay. Wherever you are, I wish you an amazing morning, afternoon, evening. We will see you next time. Huge thanks to all those of you who shared this, liked it, commented on it, who are going to leave a review on the Facebook page after this. And I hopefully will be talking to some of you soon in the strategy session. Until next time, bye-bye.